You're quoted as saying the premise of aerial firefighting is initial aggressive attack. So when we've got the possibility of getting across the head fire and slowing the rate of spread and get a chance to extinguish the fire, just exactly what does that mean in layman's terms?
Once the fire starts, and the studies have proven that for aircraft or for water bombing, to extinguish the fire, they need to be in the early stages of that fire development, so they can slow that forward rate of spread to a point where it can be consolidated by the guys on the ground. So the earlier the activation of the water bombing aircraft, be it fixed wing or rotary, the volume of water be delivered at the head fire, the better chance we have of putting the fires out in the initial stages. And what we have done in Perth is identified a high risk area, which is basically it's the hills area, and the reasoning for identifying that is so that we can get to that fire in the initial stages. And the reason is because of the slope and the rate of spread. So the earlier we get there, the more effective we're going to be. So there's an automatic response. So the first triple O that is called through to our ComCen in that area will deploy the aircraft straight away.
And I guess from the sound of it, and I don't want to, obviously there'll be a proper process, and I'm not trying to get you to speculate, but it sounds as though the King's done pretty well so far.
It is a trial period, and to this date it's been very impressive. We're collecting data from not only the supervisors in the aircraft, but also the guys on the ground. And the other, very effective use of the aircraft is in transport. And we did have an incident down in the Fitzgerald National Park down south, and it was deployed down there and utilised to transport fire crews off the fire line at the end of their shifts, which meant a 20-minute aircraft ride as opposed to a 2-hour four-wheel drive back to their camp. So it's versatility in the aircraft as well.
In military terms, we're used to fire being called in by experts on the ground. Is there anything similar in firefighting, or is it the other way around? The guys in the sky can give a lot of valuable information to the guys on the ground.
Yeah, the setup that we have here in Western Australia is we have people trained as ground controllers who are the liaison point between the ground and the air, and inside the aircraft we have what are known as supervisors, be it a heli-tac supervisor or an air attack supervisor. So they will make contact with the ground control 5 minutes before reaching the fire ground for strategies and any hazards, known hazards, or whether we can actually use foam, which is a suppressant to improve extinguishing. And once we've been given those strategies, then the supervisor in the air will then coordinate the water bombing effort. Importantly, though, he liaises with the guy on the ground, because he's the guy that will be able to determine just how accurate the water drop is, and if any adjustments required by the pilot to get a bullseye or to get the target on the next drop. Just how skillful are these chopper pilots, whichever one of the 5 they're flying? Yeah. All the pilots, both fixed wing and rotary, are very skillful. There's obviously requirements of hours flown as in command, on type, and within recent history within the year and within 100 days before the contract. But they're very skillful. And with the Fire King, the American. One of the American pilots, Vern, who's actually leaving today, but he's got over, I think, 33,000 hours in command of helicopters, so a lot of experience. And their experience ranges from civilian through to military. The bulk of the pilots that have been over here from America have had I'd say 80% of them had a military background.
I reckon we gave him a long, hot summer to experience.
Well, they hit the shores here, and we're quite surprised. Just the fire activity in and around a metropolitan city. The comments from the American pilots were that we're fairly aggressive in our firefighting. We do try and get in those initial stages, but yeah, over Christmas and New Year, they were surprised just how many fires we were getting in and around a metropolitan area.
Well, we wish you had a lot less, and we wish a heck of a lot less of them were deliberately lit, but we're always happy to learn more of what goes on, and I know many a homeowner would love to be standing up to give an ovation to the guys, whether they be fixed wing or chopper pilots, who come in and working with the crews on the ground make all the difference, and a home remains standing rather than being lost. Great to talk to you tonight, Adam. Thanks for your time.
Okay, Graham, thank you.